This is a podcast by sciencemag.com.
Science Mag, come out and play. Science Mag, come out and play. Science Mag, come out and play.
Hello, dear English-speaking, reading, hearing listener. Welcome back to me at Science Mag, the blog, podcast, Twitter and Instagram accounts, entity behind the unsuccessfully shop Stuff and Go on Zazzle.com, which tells you great science stories, looks deep into your soul, and in doing so finds that gym locker key you lost in 2005, along with a couple of stale candy and a used bus ticket, and which talks to you thanks to the voice kidnapped via voodoo wireless trick from a very dumb human, and which does all this in English ? A language that is to proper English what the names of Icelandic volcanoes are to shortness. Today I'm gonna launch a new space on this blog podcast called Weird Patent Series. A space, as the name suggests, dedicated to the most absurd things you humans have patented, invented, thought.
Science Mag!
So, dear listener, for this first patent, there's a bit of a background story. Recently, Pips, one of the characters of this dumb blog podcast, checked the Who's Who page for more info on Pips. Pips interviewed a researcher, checked the blog for the full crazy interview, a researcher who studies bats and who collects their feces to learn about their alimentation. So, Pips, since bats flies, probably joking, but given what it is not necessarily joking, Pips mentioned the necessity for the invention of a diaper for flying animals. A diaper for flying animals. Nonsense, dear listener, right? Well, apparently that nonsensical idea has indeed been already deeply worked out and even covered by, at least as far as I know now, not one, but two patents. So, let me tell you, dear listener, about these two magnificent patents then. Patent 1. In 1956, Miss Bertha A. Dlugy from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA, files the U.S. patent number 2882858 for a sanitary appliance for birds. Okay. Now, Bertha is aware of the fact that having a pet is a common habit for humans, and she's also aware of the fact that already in the 50s, and at least in the US, keeping a parakeet and similar birds as household pets has gained in popularity, and that many birds' pet owners let their flying friends free to fly in many rooms of the owners' homes. But alas, our mastermind of the inventions observes how impossible it be to house train these dear flying pets. Apparently, they also sucks at bringing you the newspaper, slippers, balls and sticks back when thrown, and at panting an incredibly full breath when waking you up at 5 o'clock in the Sunday mornings by jumping on your bed. Anyway, as a consequence of this lack of discipline, pet birds just drop their intestinal plus bladder tokens wherever they want, meaning on your carpets, furniture, pieces of antiques, holy PlayStations, very expensive uniquely customized headsets, last of the last model iPhones, smartphones, sacred to naps couches, full of dirty dishes, sinks, untouched cooktops, Star Wars decorated sheets, floors, beds, and so on. So dear Bertha comes up with her invention, a sanitary garment that may be worn by birds without being a source of annoyance to them and without hampering their movement. Bertha's thing is a triangle, better if it's an isosceles one, she specifies, a triangle of absorbent cloth to be put in correspondence of the bird's chrisum. The mighty bird-dropping catching triangle is held in position by a harness formed of narrow strips of tape. The strips go around the bird's tail and neck, where there are two snap closures, and along the middle of its back, neck and chest. Now, dear listener, your remarkably lucid brain probably stopped really listening after the word crisum. Well, it's understandable, dear listener, it's understandable. But you are in luck, because our kind Berta, in her patent, explains that concept. The anatomy of birds is such that they are provided with a common chamber, called the cloaca, for receiving the waste material from both the intestinal and urinary canals. The bird discharges this waste material from the cloaca through its cloacal opening, which is surrounded by the crisum. So, dear listener, as you can agree upon, having Berta's sanitary triangle of cloth to cover the crisum of the bird is utterly wise, as Berta's patented triangle will receive the excremental discharge from both the intestinal and urinary canals. More precisely, the base of Berta's triangular patch have to be placed at the bottom, pun unintended here, of the bird's tail, that is, as just clarified, where the animal's excrement's delivery happens. Moreover, the above-mentioned base must be made of an elastic material in order to be yielding enough so that the central portion of the body of the patch sag and thereby create a pouch for receiving the excremental discharge. Our canny Berta, besides, take also into consideration the aesthetics of her bird hygienic device. She assures that the thingy is basically invisible once worn by the birds, as a substantial portion of it becomes concealed by the feathers of the birds itself. The bird, in fact, after wearing the apparatus, will invariably ruffle its feathers, causing them to overlie the harness and therefore making it disappear from sight. So, dear listener, to sum up, Berta's invention avoids the unsanitary condition deriving from untrained and untrainable pet birds flying freely in your human home, bombing every part of it with the final products of their digestion. The Berta's apparatus is in fact designed so that it doesn't annoy the birds, nor hinder their movements and flight maneuvers, be light, easy to put on the birds, almost invisible, and simple and cheap to manufacture. But it's still defined by its own inventor, by Berta herself, a sanitary garment, not a bird diaper, you know. So we want precisely and only that. No, dear listener, we want a bird diaper. Well, that's why we go to patent number 2. But first, first a commercial break.
Is your pet bird stressed out because all the cool birds of the neighborhood don't want to hang out with it and it hears they calling it Diaper Joe or Poop Bag Kid or Flying Cargo Poop behind its wings? Try Poop and Chill, our new diaper for pet birds enriched with extracts of Jamaican anxiolytics that kick in once the dropping is made. Poop and Chill diaper, and your pet bird will fly, poop and relax, and possibly eat a lot too at the same time. Poop and Chill diaper can be found in every pet shop of South Ball, Minneapolis, and Rurutu.
So, dear listener, humanity has to wait till 1999 to see a patent named Bird Diaper. In 1999, indeed, not one, not two, but 3 people brainstormed, probably after a Friday night party based on strange Dutch M&Ms, funny tasting water from Russia, and an odd Mexican party game named Lick the Back of the Toad Pong. So, 3 people brainstorms in 1999 and comes up with the idea that leads to the US patent number 5934226 entitled Bird Diaper. Lauren Moore and Mark Moore from New York and Sly Gyron from Sawtooth Way, San Diego, California, aka the Bird Diapers Trio, or BDTs, are the parents of the ultimate solution for the problem of uncaged pet birds which go number 1 and 2 together on random stuff in their owners' homes. As stated above, this is a huge sanitary issue, so the 3 folks step up and own it, and the WHO probably sighs with relief when it reads about the BDT's Eureka Moment product. Okay, the BDTs first underline the numerous limits of 1956 Berta's invention. They write in their patent that given the tendency of pet birds to wriggle, writhe and peck wet-handed, the 2 snap closures of better designs make it difficult for the bird owners to secure the sanitary appliance science onto the bird. The PTDs go on observing that since birds have a natural curiosity for metal devices accessible to their reach, given the strength of their beaks, it is likely they would bite off or destroy the snaps, and that the strips that go around the neck of the bird create a collar that limit the head motion of the bird, and this would probably make the poor pet bird way too exposed to the attack of the formidable pet bird predator that the cuckoo clock is. The trio finishes to destroy poor Bertha's idea, finally adding how the plurality of strips securing the device increase the likelihood of self-imposed harm should the strips entangle with or catch on to some object that the bird encounters while moving about the dwelling of the owner. After their demolition work, the BDTs are ready to explain their invention, the one and only true proper bird diaper, and they draw 7 figures to help you with that. 7! Well, Bertha had only 3. In their words, the bird diaper is an enclosed pouch for receiving and containing excrement, and apertures to accommodate the wings, the paws, and the tail of the bird. Elastic straps and hook and loop fastener components secure the diaper onto the body of the pet bird without restricting movement. The bird diaper is fabricated from spandex or another stretchable lightweight material, allowing absorption of the bird excrement to prevent leaks and facilitating easily cleaning using soap or water. The bird diaper can incorporate decorative designs and bright colors. The bird diaper also has a leash, which is insertable within the hook and loop fasteners. The leash serves to restrain or limit the bird's area of free flight. Now, dear listener, as you can figure out, the BDT's device, once assembled, has strips that connect the ventral and the dorsal part, which in turn are made of several pieces. The ventral part starts with the mid-chest of the birds and ends up with a pocket under the animal's tail, where the droppings are collected. The dorsal part covers most of the back of the bird, leaving a hole through which the tails come out, plus it holds a hook for the leash right above the tail. So, dear listener, are you sold? Not yet? Well, you are a hard buyer, I give you that. But haha, the BDTs took skepticism for granted. So, besides overcoming all the 1956 Bertha designs flaws and adding the leash optional, they also put on the plate that to accommodate different types of pet birds, the bird diaper will be available in different sizes. And end up with the final phenomenal boom! The bird diaper can be moistened before application to cool the pet bird during summer months. Alternatively, the bird diaper can be utilized to keep the pet bird warm during winter months. Isn't this, dear now for sure solid listener, pure absolute adamantine genius? Well, pal, if such an extraordinary display of technology and taste which solves a threatening world's health problem doesn't make you frantically look for a pet shop where to buy a parakeet or a canary or any other pet bird, I don't know, a condor, a bald eagle, a pterodactylus, okay, not a bird but still a flying animal, probably escaped from one of the R&D facilities of the Diapers and Genetics Corporation, and anyway a beast with a great potential as a pet flying animal, although I wonder where one could find dry leash for it. Anyway, so if after learning about the 2 patents and the bird diapers you don't want a pet flying animal, well, my dear listener friend, I think you are as sane as it gets and perfectly rational, and I genuinely envy you. Oh, by the way, dear listener, just think of this. Getting a patent is not for free. It takes money. To obtain a US patent costs up to $thousands between fees and legal expenses. So, well, up to you to decide how much more than nothing it's worth to be spent on a bird diaper patent. Okay, Paul, now you go check if there will also be a patent for a bidet for words. Who knows? So, dear listener, till next time, and if in the meanwhile you spare some time and feel like doing it, please subscribe and or rate this podcast and or leave a comment on the blog and or take a tour on my Stuff and Go e-shop on zazzle.com so you can see if there's something you like there. Ciao!
Science man, come out and play. Science man, come out and play. Science man, come out and play.
This is a podcast by sciencemag.com.